now. Hello, this is Bookzots, and I'm Prometheus. We're going to be doing the map review of Inkspell. We start 1 year after the original book, Ink Heart, in which Dustfinger and Farid have the book, Ink Heart. They go to another silver tome they found reading in a library, and he has written them a word that will send Dustfinger and Farid back to Inkheart, because Farid has grown very attached to Dustfinger and doesn't want to leave him, therefore he wants to go back to Inkheart as well. And Orpheus starts to read, and pop, there goes Dustfinger, but he does not read the part for Farid because, surprise, he was working for Basta. Basta takes the book from Farid, and then a cat that was read out of Inkheart tries to kill Basta and Farid. Basta kills the cat, and then Basta yells some random nonsense revenge against the entirety of the family. Moving on, we then realize that Meggie, Risa, Mo, Darius, and Eleanor are all living at Eleanor's house. Risa still cannot speak, effect that I did not mention in my previous review. She can't speak, so she has learned sign language. And then Farid shows up with a piece of paper that should read him back into Inkheart, explaining that Basta wants to kill everyone, and that he needs to go and warn Dustfinger, so he needs to be read back in the book. Mo outright refuses because he's been having a spat with Meggie because she's been slightly obsessed about the Ink world ever since the effects of the events of the last book. She disagrees with this, however, modifies the words, and reads herself and Farid back into the book. We will get back to them in a second. Dustfinger, after frolicking around in a place called the Wayless Woods in Inkworld, finally comes across a tavern where he meets two old acquaintances, Cloud Dancer, a friend, former tightrope walker, now a messenger, and Suitbird, who definitely will not be an important character in the coming events. Cloud Dancer goes his way, Dustfinger goes his way, and then we are introduced to Funke, the author of Inkworld, who disappeared at the end event of the final book. Turns out he's been living in the book for the last year, and he goes to strolling players and is the court poet. When he goes to the strolling players, he realizes that they've picked up a boy and a girl. Oh, what do you know? It's Farid and Meggie. Farid goes to search for Dustfinger, Meggie goes to Funeglio's house, and she lives there for a little while. Back with Dustfinger, he tracks down his wife, common-in-law, who he had two daughters with. One died during the 10 years that he was away. The other one works for the royalty. We will get to that mess in a bit. Turns out Roxanne married a farmer, he died, and they had a son who's still alive, and that Roxanne learned something from a crazy old lady who happens to know quite a bit about herbs and is a half-human, half-moss woman. She comes in later. Where was I? Yes. 2 weeks later, after Meggie disappears into the book, Mo has had a serious existential crisis, and he throws all of his book-working tools in the trash, as he states that he will never touch a book again. And oh, what do you know? Basta, Orpheus, and Mordela, and a wardrobe man, that is his name, wardrobe man, show up at Eleanor's house. They then take them hostage, and then Risa, Mo, Basta, and Mordela get read into Inkheart. We'll get back to them in a... No, we're getting back to them right now. They are read into Capricorn's old castle in Inkworld, and they find it completely deserted and burned down. Mordela, absolutely enraged that her son's palace is now burning crisp, becomes so enraged that she decides, okay, forget revenge, I'm just going to shoot Mo. And she does. Unfortunately, that doesn't kill him. Minus the fact that the white women, creatures that come to people who are nearly dying, show up. And Risa is attempting to stop it. She suddenly speaks now that she's back in Inkworld, don't know why. And this nettle person who happens to know a lot about herbs comes and saves them and takes them into a cave. We will get back to them in a second. Now for the royalty. We have the Silver Prince, who has had a bajillion gillion wives trying to have a son. Hasn't succeeded yet. He married the Salt Prince's daughter, whose name is Violet. She married the Laughing Prince's son, Cosmio. He died 5 years ago. He's important. We'll get back to him. And their son is Japaco, who is currently a brat. Oh yes. Firefox and Piper are two of Capricorn's former underlings, now working for the Silver Prince, who is called the Adderhead. He's important. Finally, Funeglio introduces Meggie to the court system. Absolutely crazy. And then he confesses that he's been writing quite a few books recently, not books, songs for the Strolling Players titled The Blue Jay. And it's a Robin Hood type character based off somebody we know. We definitely will get back to that. Now, in the cave that we've met, we've run across the leader of the Strolling Players called the Black Prince. He is very confused as to what these two random people and what the heck is a bullet wound. They don't know. And the people are all kind of suspicious because Mo just so happens to look like the Blue Jay. I wonder why that is. I don't know. So, Risa says to Cloud Dancer, who also happened to be there, to send a message to Dustfinger. Dustfinger then sends a message through Cloud Dancer to Meggie, and Meggie sends Cloud Dancer back to the cave, and then Meggie follows Finiglio because Finiglio is tired that his world has gone out of whack in the next 10 years, as Cosmeo died 5 years ago while trying to kill the remainder of Capricorn's men who were left behind when he was read into the other worlds in the events of Inkheart. So he decides, copy-paste, Control-C, Control-V Cosmeo, with not bringing back to the dead, but bringing back from the dead Cosmeo is an excellent idea, which backfires horribly wrong. Cosmeo comes back, thanks to Meggie's reading of Finiglio's writing, and it doesn't go well. He shuns his wife, accepts his wife's servant, gets really angry at the Prince of Silver, also known as the Adderhead, for trampling all over his kingdom, and decides to have a war with the Prince of Silver. We will get back to that. Oh yeah, Finiglio decides that this is going horrifically wrong, and Meggie realizes that her father has been kidnapped by the Silver Prince's men because there has been somebody in this world who acts like the Blue Jay, which her father looks like, who has been causing the Silver Prince quite a bit of issues. So he's captured. Meggie goes after him, along with Farid and Dustfinger. We will get back to them. Finiglio realizes that this is a horrific idea. They need to protect him, so he sends Roxanne, yeah, you remember Roxanne, to find Dustfinger. We'll get back to her again. So they catch up with the trail that still has her father, who's pretty much dead at this point, given the bullet wound to the heart. And Dustfinger does some funny stuff at the tavern. They free the Black Prince, who was captured. In the result, they continue chasing this way. Also, the children of the Strolling Players get away, but her father and mother remain captured. They then go to a mill. Yeah, mill. Where they're captured by Basta and Firefox. But then Farid barbecues them, and they have to run away to the Castle of Night. The Castle of Night is the home of the Prince of Silver. This will be coming up. Oh wait, we're here. Yay. So Dustfinger, Farid, and Meggie go to a medical center that is underneath the Castle of Night, as much as you can call it a medical center, where Roxanne catches up to them. Meggie starts to read the words that will protect the army that Cosmeo is leading to defeat the army of the Castle of Night, but she gets stopped by Boston and is then taken to the Castle of Night as a prisoner along with her mother and father. At the Castle of Night, the Adderhead is a very old man. He's starting to die, and he's afraid of death. So, Mo, following the words and inspiration of Finiglio, decides that it's a good idea to trick him into immortality by forging a book that will trap death. This is a good idea. So in here, Mortala is obviously quite suspicious of this. The Adderhead doesn't care because he's getting immortality. After about 2 weeks of binding a book, he tests it out on his Firefox, which is his herald. He's stabbed through the heart with a sword, doesn't die. Great. So they write 3 words into it. Firefox dies. They then write 3 words in for the Adderhead, and now he's immortal. Lovely. As bargaining for the binding of the white book, Risa, Meggie, Mo, and the remaining Strolling Players are released from the Castle of Night because the Adderhead is in a really good mood. He's immortal. Time to party. But unfortunately, Basta is sent after them to attack them. Roxanne and Farid and Dustfinger also join them in their retreat through the woods, where the Black Prince is also coming with more men from his earlier escape to help them guide. But Basta comes with men under his command, and they kill Farid. Ah! Okay. And then Mo kills Basta! Why, Basta? Why did you die? Anyway, now this is bad. Dustfinger is absolutely crushed because he's grown quite attached to the boy, so he plays with fire, lures the white women, offers a trade, he dies, Farid comes back, they then run into Fineglio, who is the last remaining survivor of the army of the Cosmio War, because they got involved in the fight with the Prince of Night, and they lost horrendously. Cosmio is dead, again, and Meglio, at the behest of Farid, reads Orpheus. You remember Orpheus? He was the guy who read Dustfinger in to begin with. And now he is supposed to bring back Dustfinger, and that is the end of Inkspell. I am Prometheus, this is Book Zealots. Thank you for watching.